Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? You are on the sidelines with the Sideline Guys. It's your boy, your favorite mediator himself. You already know. Dwayne, I'm in the building. How y'all feeling? And I'm joined by a bevy of hosts, including, well, I'll let this host kind of give the official announcement about a brand new look to the Sideline Guys on today. So I'm going to let him do that. So without further ado, I'll just pass this thing around the room and we'll go ahead and start with Mr. Derek, the Eagle flying, Celtic loving, anti-cowboy hating, as you know, himself, Mr. hard worker himself, as everybody knows, Derek Myers.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? How you feeling, good sir?
I'm good, man. Just a little tired, but I'm good.
Just a little
Can't
tired.
complain.
Hey, I feel that, man. But look, you're energetic because we on a great show today, and we got a lot in store for you guys. So without further ado, before we let Mr. Derek give this special announcement to the people, I'm going to introduce two other dope hosts on this very show. First and foremost, right here, well, he's below me, but, you know, he could be anywhere else on the opposite end of the screen. So, my man, the number one bill of Kings and Buffaloes all over. He is the number one, and probably only, depending on how you put it, if there's still any out there right now, the number one Knicks fan.
The only. The only.
Could be the sole survivor. The sole survivor of the New York Knickerbockers. He is.
Hired that Tom Thibodeau, you know.
Hired Tom Thibodeau, you know what I'm saying, which we'll get into. But he is also, also your resident New York Yankee himself, Mr. Jonathan Toronto.
What's up? What's up? 27-time champ Yankee fan is what you say when you talk about my Yankees, first of all.
Oh, come on now.
Also, I have
one New York
that's all I listen. That's all I got because we got four straight Super Bowl losses. And, we don't talk about that. 27.
I forgot it was 4.
What's up?
They'll start tearing up. Y'all leave them alone.
We can't mess with them.
I ain't talk about that. We move on. We keep going. What's up, brothers? How you doing?
I will be bringing that up when you bring my Eagles up, though. I will be bringing that up.
You didn't gave the old. See, you didn't gave him the fuel, Jonathan.
Yep.
Why'd you do that to him? You couldn't remind him that.
Man,
it's okay.
No.
But it's good to have. It's good to be back, fellas. I mean, it's been a minute since we did the Sideline Guys thing, man. So it's great to have everybody back. I'm loving it. Shout out to you guys out there if you're fans of the Sideline Guys. If you're listening to us on Six Families Radio, what's up? How you doing? If you're listening on Tuned In, shout out to you as well. We appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that little heart above real quick. You know what I'm saying? There's a little heart up there. If you're listening on Tuned In, make sure you click that. Hey, can't forget about you guys on Podcast Nation of Spotify and, as you know, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you take the time to rate us, okay? If you're on Apple, hit those little 5 stars. Hit that subscribe button. It's big, purple, and square. You can't miss it. And, of course, leave some comments. Let us know how you like the show. And same thing for you Spotify kids out there, you Spotifalians out there. Go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let them know how you feel about us real quick. You know what I mean? And again, welcome. We love you. Now, that being said, let me introduce another great host. And, as my man Derek is going to say, the mantle, which, I'm saying, we're not going to give that away right now. But this man right here, I guess we can officially call this man temporarily a New England Patriot at the moment.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Fuck that.
Temporary.
Fuck that.
Come out. Temporary New England Patriot.
Let's go,
Pats. You guys may know him as the perennial powerhouse podcaster himself.
I give respect on that.
And, of course, my personal nickname for this man, the brand new Diabolical Hater 2.0, officially and unofficially appointed to him by Mr. Skip Bayless. This man is the one, the only, Parker Gailey.
Let's go. Let's go, Pats.
Man, fuck all that. Hell no. Talking about them same Pats that had lost all defensive players this year. Yeah, it ain't happening.
That's right, and we still gonna beat the Bills, and we still gonna win the. We still gonna win the conference, baby.
Oh, and I can't forget.
You sure he's not Shannon on the Henny? Talking about Skip.
Hey, wait. And we can't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I almost forgot to include in my intro, we can't forget the number one James Harden fan / Houston Rocket.
That's right.
Yeah.
Till I die. Die on this hill. Also Florida Gators, college football, but no. James Harden, I just love to support who people hate. Cam Newton, James Harden. I mean, look. I'm built for
Cam Newton, but
I'm built for this. I'm built for this.
Carson Edwards dunked on Harden yesterday.
Oh, no. Not just Harden, Westbrook too.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so soft. You call that dunked on?
That man got up, man.
Hey, look.
Oh, fellas.
What was the final score?
That was it's fine. It's a scrimmage. It's a scrimmage. And also we didn't not one of the starters played, right? Our top seven.
Bro, wave it off.
Yeah.
Bro, I knew that was gonna happen. Derek, I texted Derek. I was like, He's like, hey, the bench is making it tough. I was like, all right, wait till the fourth quarter when you get.
It turned around. It turned around as soon as I sent that text.
I know it did. It really did, bro. Because I was about to start sending a text to you and start fucking with you.
I was like, why the hell did I say that, man?
He broke his own. He broke his own jinx, people.
This is why I don't do that. This is exactly why I don't do that. During the Super Bowl, Eagles Super Bowl, I wasn't talking about anything.
I don't touch my phone.
It's something about that superstition of sports. Like I don't care what it is. If the Celtics are playing and I miss the tip off, I don't watch the game.
Dude, I used to wear sunglasses inside with the same boxers on every week. Trust me.
Yo,
I know.
Every time I watch a Bills game, team football I've held for 4 years now. I have to squeeze in the right arm. If I don't, they don't score. They probably still don't anyway.
That must be defensive touchdowns.
Listen. Past couple years, we've been all right.
I know the
feeling. No. Well, let's get to talking, boys. What's up?
Before we get to talking, actually, because I know Parker, I know Jonathan, and I know Derek are definitely ready to dive into this thing real quick. Mr. Derek, would you like to make this announcement now, or would you like to make it at the end of the show?
Yeah, we can make it right now. I am stepping away as co-host of the Sideline Guys, and your new co-host.
Afraid.
I run from no man.
Derek's going to Fox.
He instigating, coach.
He going to Fox. You got the luxury deal.
I'm telling you, man. If I get that luxury deal, win. Put that wax. Win. It's gonna be. We all eating. Trust.
That's fine.
But I have to step away from the show so that I can focus on other things with OTS. So my man Parker here, great co-host of the Perennial Powerhouse podcast. He's going to step up in my place, and
Parker.
Jonathan's new co-host for the show. So I am excited for the new look. This is what our third. This is like our third incarnation of the show.
Hey, but I will say,
but it's awesome.
It's the OG show.
This is the OG show,
and we've learned to evolve and adapt. Yeah. And no matter who my co-host is, I'm whooping that ass regardless. So it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Let me say this.
Let me make this clear. You didn't whoop my ass one time.
Okay. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, play back the footage of the previous episodes of Sideline Guys, and you determine who the real winner.
You know what? I take that back. He did get me one time. Nathan and I were trashing him on the Bills at the beginning of the season. And
I got receipts on that one.
Yeah, I did. I said the Bills weren't gonna go past what four games, I think, 4 wins.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Nathan had us at 3.
Yeah. So I do apologize. That I should not have said that one.
I mean, nobody really focuses.
I don't know.
On
I didn't know the team, so
nobody does. Now people are starting to learn about them a little bit.
Yeah. So I got respect. I got respect. But I appreciate Parker for being able to step up in this place, and you guys take it to another level. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this.
Welcome, Parker. Welcome.
I'm glad this is mostly radio because I'm not as good looking as Derek. But I do bring more controversy. And I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Jonathan better be ready because we got to get after it. And let me tell you this, though. Also, the fans should be happy that Cam went to the Patriots because we got a new rivalry up in here. We got Bills Pats up in here.
Bills Mafia versus Pats.
And I will tell we Pats everything. Pats Nation. I mean, as a veteran Pats fan.
After this year. His 1 month experience. His 1 month experience.
Hey, get it right. A month and 4 days. Get it right.
There you go. Sorry about that.
And as I will tell you this though, Jonathan, I will say this: out of any host he's ever co-hosted with, I know about the Bills the most, only for this reason. As an ex-Panthers fan, the Bills love to steal our coaches and our players.
We are Carolina North.
That is
you are true. Carolina in the
snow. You know what? I will take that because what they do have success for years and years.
That's right. You took our defensive coordinator, Sean McDermott, Super Bowl defensive coordinator.
That's true. All I do, and Derek and I talked about it in previous podcasts.
Star Latulippe, he just opted out, by the way.
Andy Reid, that tree. Ron Rivera, Sean McDermott. Everybody comes from that tree, man.
That tree
is
the best.
I'm thankful. If not for Sean McDermott, we still be talking about like the 3-13 Bills. We'll put it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll amazing how that deeper. But get ready. Hey, all I'm saying is get ready for the peaks and valleys that us Panthers fans are those Panthers fans have.
Let me be clear.
Emphasize those. We're kicking you out the door, Carolina.
I don't know them.
New England.
I don't know them folks.
Hey Parker. if Cam leaves New England at the end of the season and goes to Atlanta, are you a Falcons fan?
Dun dun dun.
He won't bowl a 28-3 lead. I'll tell you that.
He won't.
Facts.
He wouldn't.
So
Cam's
it won't happen. If it won't happen, but in a hypothetical situation, if he leaves the Pats, I'm thinking that Cam's career is probably on a decline. So at that point, I always have love for Cam, but at that point, I'd probably would just. I don't know if I'd go back to just being a Panthers fan or if I just would. I just have so much love for Cam. That's the only reason I'm even considering being a Patriots fan. I've always respected the Patriots, but I don't know. I might go back to being a Panthers fan, or I might just say screw it and be like, all right, who do I like now? But I would pick honestly, today when I saw that Tua Tagovailoa was cleared to play, I was like, let's go Dolphs. But I can't say that right now. Let's go Pats.
What if Cam has a great season and still ends up leaving the Pats?
That's what I think is going to end up happening.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't think Belichick lets that happen. But if he does, if Cam has a great season, wherever Cam goes, I go.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Because I think Stidham is going to be the guy.
What's gonna hurt a lot of these teams in turn to players? The cap's going down like $30 million next year. Like they already said it is. Mm-hmm. So if Cam balls out, he ain't taking less. He shouldn't take less. So he may just leave.
Well, I mean, what's Mahomes is making? I mean, it's just it's all going to
49, 50
Hey,
million.
good for Bosa, Garrett, and Mahomes right now signing these big deals before this
surprised.
cap.
I'm surprised. The teams are even willing to do it, man. That's a lot of money they're committed to. They don't even know what the cap's really going to be. So.
And I'll say, well, we can get into cap too, talking about this whole COVID situation, but I don't know where we want to go with that, you know?
We'll
we can go on the fly with anything, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's cool.
We'll definitely do that. So without further ado then, let's go ahead and let's talk some NBA real quick to kick things off because right now it is July 29th, 2020. And well, more than likely, if you're listening to this by now, chances are the NBA season has officially started. So therefore, fellas, we are back. We are officially back into the NBA.
Thank God.
Let's fucking go!
Come
We
on,
finally
baby.
have the NBA back, and it is time to pick up where COVID left it off.
Let me just repeat real quick. The NBA is fucking back, boys.
Back.
Like we have
Let me
sports. I don't have to
let me
watch
say this.
bowling.
Like sports are back. I don't have to watch baseball. I don't have to watch baseball.
Look, I
Sports
watch
are back.
tournaments.
Baseball can get good, towards like playoff time.
I will say this: it is
It's
a little
hype.
bit. The 60-game season makes it a little bit more
Intense.
intense, but
Right.
I mean, it's still baseball.
Yeah, I hear it. Look, I'm a Yankees fan till I die, but I get the level of popularity compared.
Yeah.
But
I'm a Braves fan. So.
man, we're ready to roll with this NBA thing, man. We got
Sure.
what was it? Pelicans and Jazz tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kings Jazz, baby.
Man, just talking that environment. Like, what do you think, Parker? How do you think it's like? Do you think it's weird? Have you watched any exhibitions?
I've watched all the Rockets games, and then I've watched probably 5 or 6 of the exhibitions on and off. But
yeah.
I think that when I first started watching, I was like, this is going to be summer league. This is trash. And the more I started to kind of watch, I mean, obviously it's a little bit different. I know the Rockets played the Celtics and they played their whole bench, but I really believe that it is going to be, I kind of think that it's going to be even more intense in the bubble. I think that as fans, you can hear so much on the court, and I feel like these guys have been off. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have guys that are hungry. I mean, think about all this. If you really think about it, think about all of the storylines between even teams that aren't even really in consideration, but still in Orlando in the bubble. And they're like, let's go. Like, this is our time. Like, when do we ever have this opportunity to get 4 months off and then just hoop and go? And like, I think we're going to get like that style of like, almost like, I don't want to say style of basketball as far as AAU, but like that atmosphere where it's just like, these guys are going to come at each other's throats. Mm-hmm. No fans, just straight up basketball. So I'm super, I don't like when people talk about a diluted version or like a asterisk next to the championship, I say, fuck that. I think this is going to be one of the hardest championships to win. I think this is going to be one of the most intense playoffs and the intense 8-game seed-in series in the history of NBA. So I think tips off to anyone who comes out at the top of this. So I'm excited.
The league in general, you think of like the talent of players. So every player in the NBA is talented, right? And the biggest thing for talking about your role players and dwindling down the amount of players you use in the playoffs, will they do that? Because the biggest thing was, those bench guys can't produce in a hectic or crazy setting or environment. Well, that's not there. So these guys who are 12th on the bench that were top stars in college and high school, they ain't got nothing to worry about but to hoop. So talk about the asterisk. Everybody's playing at their highest level because there ain't nothing else to worry about but hoop. It's just hoop. Right. That's it. It's ball is what you know. It might be the hardest chip ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Talking about the asterisk, easily. I think
the asterisk in the other way. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I honestly looking at the league, because it's been so long since we actually had some hoop, right? I mean, 4 months. And all these teams coming fresh, everybody's talented in my eyes in a situation like this. Do we really know who's going to win?
That's like, and when I think about it, I think there's 5 teams I could see coming out the top of this. I could see maybe even more, but obviously you have both of the LA teams. You have the Bucks. I mean, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Celtics, the Heat are an underdog. I mean, and I will say this: I think it's. I mean, obviously everyone's healthy. and smart by Brad Stevens to not play his starters last night because obviously Eric Gordon went out for 2 weeks with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
I am worried about the one thing with the Celtics that I'm worried about is Kemba. But you see Anthony Davis because he's got that knee injury still.
He's got the knee
injury.
So
where did that come up? Was that before
that was before
the restart?
That was before
that's why I'm worried.
That's worrisome in general, long term.
That's why I'm worried. Kemba's played a combined 9 minutes for scrimmage. They say he's out because of his knee. He's been off for 4 months. That's why I'm worried. Anthony Davis is going to be back. So you're going to have these guys with the exception of like really, if you do really think about it, you're going to have pretty much every person in this bubble is healthy except like maybe like 4 or 5 guys.
Couple guys, right?
Yeah, and even like an Anthony Davis, his eyes hurt, who's going to be back and playing on tomorrow night.
Right.
So it's
I mean, Anthony Davis, right when the bubble the bubble opened or when they got there, he went on an interview to say this is the healthiest he's been in years.
Yeah.
Because he's had those little knick-knack, when we hoop just, with friends and stuff, right? After you feel like a little nick here, something in your back bothering you, that type of stuff. He says you don't have none of that.
Well, think about like the
superstar.
Think about the biggest stars like LeBron, Kawhi, Harden, Westbrook, like Anthony Davis. Even Kemba's going to benefit from this. You're talking every single these guys who put in night in and night out this hard end work,
right? And
then you kind of see obviously the argument for Harden is he's worn out during the playoffs. Now with obviously the load management of Kawhi and then LeBron getting older, we're about to see the
clash
everything.
Of the Titans.
Yeah, seriously, we're going to see it's going to be insane.
Honestly, when you talk about the Rockets though. Or in general, let's talk about all the teams. You want someone who just has been through those battles.
Yeah.
When it comes to a team who has that dog mentality. I mean, so you talk about just the teams that you mentioned, Parker. Each of those teams had that guy. Derek, I told you the day y'all signed Kemba, that's a dog. That's the skill of Kyrie with the mentality of a dog. You know what I mean? So man, just finding players like that. Westbrook.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, these guys have chips on their shoulders too. Guys like Kemba who haven't had that opportunity to be in a winning situation, going from the Hornets. But hot take here, believe it or not, my Eastern Conference Finals is going to be with a healthy Kemba, the Celtics, and then the Miami Heat if the seeding works out.
I love that idea. That is a great Eastern Conference Finals. I love that.
I think that would be that's kind of how I see it turning out. I think this playoff is going to be so much different than any other playoff we've ever had, but I also feel like it's going to be the most exciting playoff we've ever had.
Especially with its absence and looking at how that much more now people are hungry to see true competitive nature back at its full effect. Yes, it's a bit different. I'd love to ask you fellas, what do you think about we've seen some aspects where they got the gigantic LED board with the team's logos on it, so that who's the home team and everything. But now you also see an element where kind of like how we're communicating right now, if you're watching the visual podcast, that is Zoom, where the fans can actually hop on Zoom and cheer for their favorite team.
Talk about the NBA finding a way to make that money, man.
Yeah,
here,
fellas.
Just hop on that Zoom. We'll pay you a couple $100. You know what I mean? Honestly, so I think it's cool, right? It's not having that environment there. I don't know. Can they hear the fans as much as
they have? They have the home team can throw audio in. So I think you can have fans cheering and stuff.
Okay, so you can do if.
But yeah. I know, obviously, when they were I think someone missed a free throw and they were yeet, and it was,
I did hear that. Yo, bro. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. I was watching that shit. I was watching it late. I'm hold on a second, something's up. No, so I think, well, that's cool. Having so that kind of reminds you of. I don't know if you guys ever been to a indoor lacrosse league game. It's the NLL. So
I've never been to one, but I mean, I know.
So the environment in general is typically that, right? So the whole time they're just playing music the entire time. They're making sounds for whether you score a goal or all that stuff, right, throughout the game. So it seems like it's gearing towards that. Maybe they got the example from that. But we'll see. I think the cardboard cutout or the Zoom stuff is kind of corny to me. I get it. They want to show some semblance of people there for the fans, but honestly, I'd be cool with just like a totally blacked out court, like the whole thing just blacked out, nothing but the court. That'd be dope.
Same. Blacked out. All that's playing is just like a soundtrack.
Yeah, and
like just music,
lights popping up or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'd be dope. Just to give a different setting. So if we already know it's going to be a different setting, just completely change the game. Don't put some cardboard cutouts and stuff like that. That's just my thing. But
no, I think the same thing. I mean, I guess they're piping in crowd noise like they're trying to do with everything. I don't think it's going to really affect them that much. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, the Zoom thing, like you said, the Zoom thing's super cheesy. Like that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, you remember with the NFL draft?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. You remember with the NFL draft, they had like the little Zoom people. I just thought like, okay, like, cheesy or whatever.
Yeah, trying to like, and Goodell was like making them fake boo and stuff like that. Like,
come on,
give me more. That was corny. That was too corny, man. I couldn't handle all that. That was corny. But no, Goodell was, mind you, he was falling asleep by like 10 o'clock on the chair.
Oh, dude, like, Goodell was in the lazy boy.
Yeah, man. Every time you looked at him, the dude was like on the next level down the recliner.
Goodell was like with the 166th pick. Oh.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, but man, I don't. The whole environment is, I don't know if it's necessarily what they're doing. Is it for the fans? I think it is, because I don't think the players are going to be affected by it regardless. They're just going to see some Zoom cutouts or whatever they see. But honestly, one thing that Doc Rivers made a comment on, because they had played against the Thunder. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Doc Rivers. It was the coach of the Jazz after they played the Thunder. He was like, typically my team is not very vocal.
Right.
The team, that basically their players aren't always talking to each other nonstop on the court, or trying to confuse the other team with voice, because there's always just the crowd that you're worried about.
Yeah.
He's like, the players with the loudest voices have made the most impact. He was talking about Chris Paul. Chris Paul you can hear him on a regular non-bubble game. You can hear him screaming, telling you the plays or what to do and where to go and this, that, and other. So maybe the most vocal players mean a lot. Like LeBron's very vocal. Westbrook is hella vocal. We all know that. Harden's a little more quiet. He's a silent assassin, more so, I would say. Kemba's a silent assassin. So does that hurt them though?
But I will hurt. Go ahead, Derek.
Teams.
So will a team with a more vocal player have, would that, let's say point guard versus point guard, would that vocal point guard have more of an impact than the silent assassin? In this environment?
I think so, because think about it. If you're vocal but you're on the road, right, and you're in an arena with all the fans, you're not going to be heard.
So now they are.
So
that's why, although you love the what they are and what they do, so you love that Harden just balls out, you love that Kemba just balls out, they got to step out that voice too, man, because it might not be enough. It sounds dumb, but it really could be an impact. Because I mean, when you try to play against other players like MJ would love an empty stadium.
Ooh.
All he did was break people down mentally. That was his game. If you want to talk about the best part of his game, was his way to break people down. He said
Larry Bird too.
Larry Bird, Larry Bird. Kobe.
Like
Reggie Miller.
I mean, Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller's underrated. Dude, He's underrated.
You can interview each of those older players right now, and I guarantee they tell you, we would love to be in the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
We'll make the players that think they're good fall apart in half a quarter.
For sure.
I guarantee they would.
For sure.
Guarantee they would. So, who's going to do that?
That's actually one thing that I was noticing. Because when I was watching the scrimmage games, I was more so just watching to see how the chemistry would be. Not to see if we would win or lose, like not the results. I wanted to see what the flow was going to be. And I didn't have my volume, because I was also listening to other things while I was watching the Celtics and Rockets last night. But I didn't hear the Celtics talking. That's one thing that I didn't hear them talking that much. I know they were, when they got on the sidelines, they did, but during the game, I didn't hear them discussing a lot at all.
I think I think NBA TV is notching it down a little bit.
You think so?
I think so. I watch guys' mannerisms. So, like, to Jonathan's point as well, I think The funny thing is that I think that people think that Westbrook is such vocal because he just seems vocal. He just his energy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, if you actually watch Harden hasn't been that maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Harden is actually the vocal leader of that team now. If you watch him on the sidelines or when after plays, he's pointing at things. He's looking at guys. Like even last night, I was watching him. He was looking at Westbrook. He's like, "You got to do this." Like you couldn't hear it, and I think that's on purpose because I think
some players you gotta block them out.
Trust me, because I was looking at. I remember specifically looking at Harden looking at Westbrook, me like, and he'd be like and you couldn't hear anything.
That makes sense.
But
that makes sense because you hear what Carmelo said the other day.
Yeah. Fuck out of here when he grabbed the rebound.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like,
he was like, "Fuck out of here, stupid motherfucker! God damn it, shit!" Like, I was like, "God damn,
dude." And I think what's funny about that is that
that's a good point.
That, like, I really believe that the broadcast is turning down player volume. Like, you know they're talking shit, and when Patrick Beverly gets on the court and is playing somebody, or Carmelo's on there grabbing boards, or whoever, they're talking shit.
Because
it could be too,
the pounding of the hardwood.
Yep.
I'm not hearing them say anything.
Listen, maybe the players had went to the NBA and asked them to do it. Because cancel culture, man.
I want to hear that.
I do too.
Listen, with cancel culture though, with all the shit going on with cancel culture, they say one thing off grip and someone catches it, it's all over Twitter and boom, suspended by the NBA. That's I don't think that's right. I'm saying that's the world we're in. It could be the players.
Yeah,
I would love to have NBA. I will tell you this though. What platform did you watch the game on last night, Derek? You did some red
OTSguys.com.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think it depends too, because I watched it League Pass, and they had it dubbed to where you could only hear the Houston guys in Houston, so it might have been a little bit different.
I actually had Boston's stream.
Okay. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking we might get a little bit more of that maybe on a TNT or an ESPN, but you know how it's going to be. They're still going to.
Honestly, this will never happen because money's money. But
man,
give me Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller all day for every game, bro. Kevin Harlan, bang! That's all I need. Give me that bang with the three, baby.
I want to hear
That's all I need.
Gundy. I want to hear Van
Gundy. I like Van Gundy and Jackson too. So those are my two favorites.
Jackson.
Yeah,
that's what I think. ESPN
switch those pairs out. Yeah,
those were two favorites. But
either way, are we gonna get that during the season? Because I know
TNT is definitely doing. TNT's
both.
I'm sure both are. Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure both are.
Okay.
I think
they may be simultaneously, like at the same time.
How it usually works is like ESPN will get the Western Conference, TNT will get the Eastern Conference,
something like that, right?
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
So see, and I forget her name, but is one of the directors in the NFL. I mean, what's it called? MBPA. She said it's very possible they have this bubble for the next year, if things don't subside by the start of next season.
The NBA.
Yeah. So that's one thing.
Did you read the whole thing that she was talking about?
I read most of it.
Thing?
Yeah.
You see what she was saying? Well, okay, so I think it's more towards the end of it or whatever. But she's saying that as of now, they're planning for a regional bubble system. Oh. So each team in their respective cities have to bubble in that city, and you can only go to that next city's bubble.
So divisions basically.
Shit, that'll work for.
So your own city. So the Knicks will stay in New York. That whatever their bubble is,
right,
will stay there. When they go to play Charlotte, they enter Charlotte's bubble. Boom, you're not allowed to leave anywhere else. When Charlotte goes to Houston, you play in Houston's bubble. So that's what the NFL is kind of scrambling now. They're like, we can't get 3,200 players into one bubble, but we can make each team create a bubble. It's going to cost money. I mean,
it's going to cost a lot of money.
I was about to say,
a lot of Americans out there struggling right now with no money at all. So don't become trying to. You talking pennies to millions. I mean,
yeah.
So I don't want to
compare this NBA bubble in Orlando didn't cost much.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
180 million.
NBA and Disney are basically one and the same. I mean,
with the ESPN contract,
it's damn near free if you think about it. So
yeah.
Well, let me ask this though. So obviously, with you have two big games with Utah Pels, and then you have Clippers Lakers on Thursday. I'm curious on how you think. How does this change as far as contender wise? Who do you, based off of the regular season, who y'all saw coming out at the end of this thing, versus now who do y'all see it coming out? Because for me, it's changed.
I think it
has.
I honestly, man, I would say I can't even say it's changed. I just don't know. So my picks going in before COVID were Lakers Celtics. Derek and I talked about this in the previous pod because I like what both had to bring. I think the Raptors loss of Kawhi was big. That was kind of my thing. Now, I mean, you got to put trust in LeBron. You got to put trust in Kawhi. So I think both have a chance. But then you talk about the Rockets, like, dude, they're talented as hell. And that small ball shit just might work now. Like everything we know about ball, does it matter right now?
No.
Yeah, no.
It's like it's all gone and out the window. Like
I'm actually convinced that the small ball lineup could actually work in this environment. I'm convinced.
Derek, y'all don't have Horford no more. Y'all might have to do it yourselves.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. Grant Williams is excellent at the 5 when playing small ball.
That's true. Well, I was thinking more Cantor, but Cantor.
No. No, you need someone like moving their feet.
But you know what? The thing is, like, I can say small ball may be better, but then it may just not be. Maybe, or because boys ain't hoop for so long, maybe the scoring is not going to be up there. So maybe the league goes big. We go back to the 2010 Celtics versus Lakers games.
I think scoring is going to be lower.
So why not? Okay, then get the big bodies in there and try to get those easy buckets.
I think scoring is going to be lower.
So it could go either way.
Well, so your prediction was the Lakers Celtics. What's your prediction?
That was pre-COVID.
Right.
Honestly, man, I need to see before the playoffs start. We can go over this again and do who. Right. When we get the team set. If I just off the top of the head, I would probably I would stick with LeBron only because of the experience and also the continuity because they did it's still been 4 months for everyone, but do remember the Clippers hadn't played with their exact lineup. Yeah. All but 2 games and then had a COVID break. Right. So, I gotta go with the Lakers based off of the most recent continuity. Yeah. I guess, and then LeBron's experience, and then I still stick with the Celtics.
That good. I think you can throw a bunch of scrubs with LeBron and everyone thinks they're better. He makes them better. Don't get me wrong. But I think at this level, we're getting to a point. Caruso overhyped. A shell of what he used to be. He's always been some type of guy that can sit in the corner and shoot. But, he's
been pretty inconsistent lately too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, Rajon, come on. I know he's a big name, but that was 10 years ago. And even with the Clippers, I'm thinking, I think, believe it or not, that hot takes, and it's going to get old takes exposed, tag me whoever you want to tag me with, Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated player in NBA history. And I used to say Steph Curry, but hear me out with Kawhi. Kawhi, think about the coaches that Kawhi
I'm supposed to hate you, by the way. But
I know.
I like this take. I like this take.
Kawhi Leonard is an excellent defensive player. Excellent. There's no denying that. But on everything else, he's overrated. He is not a two-way player. He's always been in a scheme that's always helped him. He's been with amazing coaches, Greg Popovich, Nick Nurse, and Doc. And the funny thing is Doc Rivers has probably been the worst coach he's had.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Hold
on.
Hey, Derek, let me say it.
Nick Nurse is a better coach than Doc Rivers?
Right now, yes, 100%. And let me tell you about Doc. Tell you about Doc. Nick Nurse, what he's done with the Raptors this season is insane. What he's done with Siakam, what he's done with Lowry is amazing. Right now, he's better than Doc Rivers. And also, your boys on the Celtics, including KG and Glenn Baby Davis, also said that Doc Rivers was extremely likely to get that group with the Celtics that he had, because if he hadn't, he wouldn't be a legendary coach. So don't quote me, quote your boys.
No,
coach your boy. KG's your boy too, because you refer KG all the time. So don't even act like
No. I'm not denying what they said. I do believe that he was.
You got to make me pick all time. Doc Rivers is ahead of Nick Nurse. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, but you're just saying this year Nick Nurse is in front of Doc Rivers.
I'm saying in the past, probably in the past 2 years, Nick Nurse is a better coach than, and I think continuing, Nick Nurse will be a better coach than Doc Rivers.
I would probably say this year. I would say this year.
There's no
you have to count
that.
You have to count the championship year too. I mean,
well, yeah, last year too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But even think about what he did with Siakam.
See, here's the thing. I like seeing. So when we're talking about coaches, I like being able to see how that coach can coach without superstar talent when they don't have, the glitz and glamour. I want to see how they do in different situations, and that's what tells me what they can do.
Which is what Nurse has done.
So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at you for saying that for the last 2 years. I'm thinking you're saying
overall, yeah.
Overall.
So I would say,
I'll give that to you.
Three biggest things I need to see to start putting you on the best coaches level is the two you mentioned, Derek. I need to see you with superstars, without superstars, and while you're doing well without superstars, are you developing those young guys into superstars?
Right.
So we have someone like Nick Nurse with Toronto who's doing an amazing job with that. Popovich did it. Remember the big three of the Spurs days, that was all Pop developing them. And let's talk about who did it. Brett Brown, Phillies.
Bro,
those players were uber talented and they're number one overall picks. So you can't really say he developed them. And mind you, I don't think they've really been developed too much.
They haven't.
They're still scared to shoot a shot. And B can't stay in shape. I mean, he still balls out. But
he looks like he actually got bigger over this break.
But my thing with him though is when he goes against top talent like him, I don't know if it's mental, falls apart.
It is mental.
You do have to think about this way.
And they got Al Horford.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to help with that?
What's so funny to me is that I feel like when the 76ers luck, the picks they made were right when the NBA shifted, and then those picks weren't as valuable anymore. Right. Embiid, Simmons. Think about those guys 5 years ago. Think about if you think about those guys 7 years ago or 10 years ago, they're dominating the league. That type of style of basketball. Now they're see ya. I don't care if you can't shoot a three. Screw you. And what's funny is they had to go out and get a 6'10" center from the Celtics to be one of their better 3-point shooting players, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's because they decided to allow Robert Covington to leave, JJ Redick to leave.
Let's go Rockets!
You know what I'm saying? What's my guy's name that's on the Clippers now? Shemet. Yes, thank you. I don't know why they let him go. Like, if they just kept those three guys, I think their perimeter scoring would have been on
Redick too.
Yeah,
I mean, they had Redick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they had kept all those guys, their perimeter shooting would be right on point to where they didn't have to go and pay for Al Horford, overpay for Al Horford, I should say. And
you know who they were dumb as hell for not going after when he wanted to get out? PG before he left the Pacers.
Oh yeah.
They should have picked him up, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. How did I say this? Jimmy Butler. They didn't
being there.
He was there.
But even to be fair, I see why they let those guys go, but why spend the money on the guys they brought in? That's
what I'm saying.
My problem.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought if they're going to let Butler go, if they're going to let Covington go, then they're getting rid of that like big man defensive style basketball, and that's all they brought back in. I mean, Al Horford's not really that, but at the same time,
they brought in a poor man's version of those guys. Like, no offense to Horford, but I mean, I would probably keep Butler. That's just my opinion, based off of what the Phillies currently have, right? Like, why would you bring in?
They should have kept Butler. That's the thing.
They should have kept Butler.
They should have kept him.
But the thing about it though is that Al Horford, they were thinking they could take Al Horford from Brad Stevens' system and allow that to convert to Brett Brown's system, his scheme, which it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know why? Because Brett Brown does not know how to coach that team 1 through 15 to
it
allow
doesn't
Al
work.
Horford to do his thing.
Doesn't work because they're essentially playing Horford at a 3 spot, and
Right.
Stevens played Horford at a 5.
At a 5,
with the stretch offense.
and then played him at the 4 as well sometimes. It just
Which
doesn't
pisses me off because Horford never wanted to play anything but he never wanted to play power forward. Now he's down to play small forward.
I'll tell you this.
I don't think he has a choice. I don't think he has a choice.
Throw Al Horford in 5 years ago into the Houston Rockets now. Chef kiss.
Man, I actually thought that's where he was going. I thought he was going to go.
Yeah, I know, I did too. But that's
or New Orleans.
That's something I'm excited about though too, because I think the bubble is going to create different styles of basketball than we've ever seen before. I think it's going to translate into the regular season now because you're going to have honestly it's like anything nowadays. There's no gray. It's either black or you're white, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like there's no middle of the spectrum. You're either this or that. Right. And I think you're going to have small ball, or like the Nuggets where your point guard's 6'10". Like,
Bobo. That was okay, first crazy. Of all, oh my God.
This man, where did he come from?
Bobo?
Yeah.
Bro.
He came out of nowhere, bro. I don't know who he is.
I remember seeing him in college. But
D of the NBA.
My God. That was a great pickup. I was hoping
how much are you buying into these scrimmages?
I'm not at all.
So, hold on, Derek. Wait,
not at
time out. But you're a big summer league guy, because
yeah.
Yes, you are. Oh, yeah. You are.
Yeah.
So I want you to remember those extra.
We got Taco Fall,
bro.
Listen,
I'm not even trying to be funny, but this is it. Holy shit, Taco Fall like 4,003 minutes last night. Derek, get your shit out of here.
Hey, man. Hey, he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
Bro, Taco Fall is a Walmart version of Bobo.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Don't do him like that.
Bobo's better.
No, don't do that.
Derek.
Don't do that.
Bobo's better.
Bobo's better, Derek.
Bobo's better because of his ability to shoot from the 3. I'll give you that. But don't call Taco Fall the Walmart version of Bobo.
That's sorry, the great value.
He's like the Wise potato chip compared to the baked beans.
Listen, man. Wise is
good. and on a note like that, fellas, speaking of great value, let's talk a lot about the value of what the NBA has now done with this bubble and what we've seen in its so far success. And let's talk about COVID-19 and how we've seen other sports organizations now making their slow comebacks. And we see baseball is in the field with cardboard cutout people, but nonetheless, they are back in their own way. No fans in the stands, just cardboard cutouts. We see the NFL making its precautions, getting ready for what they're going to plan to do as we get closer to the NFL season. So, fellas, what are your thoughts in this final 15 minutes of what we have left in time? What are your thoughts on COVID?
I'll start off first with hashtag wear a goddamn mask. Please wear a mask. You're in public. You can't social distance. Wear a goddamn mask. That's number one. Hashtag Six Families Radio can add it if they need to. Wear a mask.
Let me just say this.
Me, it's been proven to help.
I'm from the South, born and raised in Georgia. It ain't political. It's science. Wear your fucking mask. It ain't a big deal.
Wear your mask, brother.
But title of the show.
So the biggest thing that popped up in baseball was the Miami Marlins. They were on their way to Philly or in Philly, I think. And 14 players and coaches ended up being much more after that tested positive for COVID.
Right.
The Philadelphia Phillies players and the staff and everybody associated with who was going to be at that game, none of them have tested positive yet. But, of course, we know there's that little, 7 to 14-day period you can still get it.
Yeah.
Yankees were supposed to play the Phillies after that. Those games were canceled. So it just makes you think. And, we talk about the bubble and how safe it is. How unsafe, because it really only takes one. So this is I feel like every league that is reopening, the NHL, the NFL, the NBA, they're looking at the MLB and saying, thank God it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But we're using you as the biggest testing sample in the history of this planet because that's in reality, it's what it is. And hopefully those players are fine. Their families don't get sick. I hope everything's all good. They have minor symptoms. But we almost needed this. It's almost talking about we need people. It sounds horrible. We need people to get sick to get a vaccine, right? That's kind of how it works.
And thank God it's baseball.
Hey, you know what? Listen, look. I'll tell you.
Let them figure their shit out.
I'm on it every single day, nonstop. Watch every single Yankees game. I do follow up with the Twitter stuff. I follow all the main, side Yankees Twitter accounts, things like that. So I do keep up. But sports were sports, and I was just watching every day because there was nothing else to watch. But the MLB is kind of proven to the NFL that maybe a non-bubble can't work.
Well,
I mean,
and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Braves fan. I've watched every single game so far for the Braves. Right. My thing about this is I think the MLB is handling it correctly currently, as far as you have the Marlins, who, I mean, you talk about the hottest spot on this. I'm not even talking about the United States on this planet.
True.
Where COVID is. It's Miami-Dade County.
True.
Mm-hmm. So I think, as far as it was funny because when one guy got the coronavirus in the NBA shut down. I think we've all kind of learned our lesson. Hey, let's see what we can do about this. And I think the MLB is like, hey, you know what? If they want to take games off, it's by winning percentage. I'm not too happy about that because Miami can play less games and still win the conference as a Braves fan, whatever. But at the same time, it's the right thing to do. But I think
it did expand to 16 teams for the playoffs too. So
it gave some
leeway for
exactly.
everyone. Yeah.
But I do think that for right now, this is a regional thing for Miami-Dade. So I'm not too concerned about it with baseball as well as any other sports. But who knows?
Well, it comes down to it takes one, right?
Yep.
Was it the catcher went to a club like an idiot because of course Florida everything's open, they act like it's not going on, and catch it there and then brought it to everyone else.
Let's go Floridians.
But and that's the thing. I don't want to get into government politics. That's for timeout, by the way. We'll leave it with that. But I will say, NBA, they're in a bubble, but they're in Florida.
Yeah.
So I don't want to use that.
And to be fair, that Orlando is a highly concentrated COVID population right now. So what the NBA has done with zero tests positive
right.
weeks is, and think about it this way too. I mean, we hear about the guys coming in and out almost daily now.
It's been a lot of that over the last week and a half.
Yeah, Lil Will had this Magic City win.
Hey man,
Disney strip clubs.
Hey man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the fact, to be fair though, for the NBA, that's the easiest sport to do with. So
that's fair.
Obviously, NBA is the most progressive league, the best commissioner.
Damn right.
I will say this though, while we're on this topic, I know it's for timeout. #Free Hong Kong. I'll pause there. Next thing though is the NBA is the most progressive league, and it's, even though they have. I mean, like I said, I'll leave politics out of it.
So
they're progressive, but they're not. But
right,
but
they're very picky, choosy, like any business, which is not right.
Correct, but separate argument. I do think it's very encouraging to see what they've done, and I'm super excited because, boys, we're about to have an NBA season. There's no denying that.
NBA season, man.
I'm still feeling some type of way about it.
Oh, Derek, it's been months. Listen,
I'm still feeling some type of way.
You got to be happy that.
I'm happy to see it.
Listen, no. But we talked about the biggest thing is how can we truly make sure these players are safe. At the time we talked about this in the past, we didn't know what the hell was going to go on. We didn't know.
It's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's the impact that it's going to have on the next season. Now next season is going to be shortened. You know that, right? They're not starting until about November, December, and then it's going to end, of course, around June, July.
Well, Derek, you heard me and Trip talk about that for college football and our perennial powerhouse. And so I will say this as we're talking about MLB and NBA, NFL, college football just announced, by the way, ACC just announced that they're doing on schedule 10-game in-conference schedule with a 1-game out of conference. And the SEC is supposed to announce tomorrow the same thing. So
for this fall?
For this fall. So
wait,
so
hold on. So we're having students aren't going to be at the school.
No, students will be at the school. So my girlfriend goes to UF.
Right.
UF students will be. I mean, I think this is kind of how it's going in the South. I can't speak for any other conferences or any other schools, but I think they're at 35% capacity for on-campus students.
Mm-hmm.
They have not came out with anything for fans in the stadiums.
Okay.
But they said if students are on campus, they can have football. So limited capacity on campus. So let me tell you this, Derek, and we talked about this on Perennial Powerhouse, and this is for any league, any college football sport. It's about the cha-ching.
Oh, for sure.
And there will be, and like you said, a delayed season. Like that's pushing back. And we talked about it a little bit more, like especially on the college level, like fall football supports all spring sports.
Right.
So you're talking about this has to happen.
Yeah.
So and I think with weird, the NBA, man. Even with the NBA, dude, you're thinking about how much money, like they spent $180 million on this bubble.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even explain. We can't even wrap our brain around how much money they're about to make off TV endorsements and deals with these playoffs. And these 18, like really the playoffs start Thursday. Mm-hmm. This is an extended playoff. Right. Like this ain't 8 seeding games. This is 8 playoff games. Then you go to the real playoffs.
Same intensity of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is all this is going to be insane.
Yeah. Right. Which is part reason why I'm kind of worried. As well, because like I know these guys play year round. That's not new, but the level of intensity that you're talking about, if that impacts a player, like let's say it's one of the, honestly, it doesn't matter which one it is, but even if it's like one of the bigger guys, like a LeBron, AD, whoever.
You're saying the pandemic, like
no, getting hurt during the game at this point in the year. Now you're talking about you're not going to see them until the 2021, 2022 season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but they'll be ready for playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to see them next year at all. If someone actually gets hurt,
like last year with Klay Thompson, the ACL during the playoffs. Yeah. Like right now, we'd be getting him right now. Like
yeah.
Like so it would be like right now, the NBA playoffs would be done. Klay Thompson wouldn't have been in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think you got to think about it this way, though, Derek. As far as if anyone gets hurt right now, no one can blame. Like you hear people talk about even like you think about it this way. Like in my mind, as a Rockets fan, obviously this is biased, but I'm like you let the Rockets play that Warriors team with a hurt Klay, no KD, like Draymond, like
anyone
we're winning a championship.
Yeah,
but like. Right now, everyone is the healthiest they've been, and going into the playoffs in NBA history. Like we can't use injuries at that's on the back burner.
I'm talking about the exhibition games going into the playoffs, though.
Oh, I'm talking
because of the fact that God forbid someone gets hurt, this is going to impact the next season in a big way. You know what I'm saying? And we're already going to have a shortened season next year. So technically you're not talking about seeing that player till 2022.
But I think at this point, the guys in the bubble are so competitive that they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
I know.
They don't.
I know. And
think about it. Put yourself in that situation.
If I were playing, I wouldn't care either.
Fuck it. Put me in. I don't care.
Yeah. Trust me.
I better not be able to.
And everybody's chomping at the bit.
Yeah. Jonathan, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you to give the final word, give your thoughts. whether it's NBA, NFL, MLB, anything impacting with what's been going on with COVID. Go ahead and give your final thoughts.
Man, we'll go back to the just wear a mask. Wear a mask, man. For now, until we get this vaccine popping, just wear a mask. But I'm excited. You know, you look at the world and you look at what's going on. You think, you know, a lot of people say, who gives a fuck about sports? But you know what? We've really learned, especially with the social injustice and things going on in the world now. Sports are that thing that I don't even have to say it brings us together, but it's a way to escape.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron and Kemba and Harden and Westbrook, all of them have spoke about it. Westbrook especially. You know, they're here to help these young kids and these young men growing up, to give them that avenue, right? To give them something to look at besides the shit that's going on. While still focusing on that stuff too, which I love that the NBA is doing. But you know, I hope every player stays safe, stays healthy, and you know, I hope the Celtics lose.
There's the final shot. The final shot.
Hey, let me say something. Let me say one thing though. I'm so excited that sports are back, and I'm glad we're gonna get on this. And like Jonathan's saying, I mean, everything that's going on in the world, don't let sports take away from the fact of what else is going on. But I love that we can get back to this and start these topics again, as well as bringing on, whether it's on this platform or other platforms on OTS, talking about, you know, social injustices among many other things. And I think, you know, as far as being a white male in this country, like, this is just obviously these past 4 months have opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I mean, you look at my walls here. I mean, you're talking about, 90% of the memorabilia I have in here is black guys. Like, and I think growing up, I've idolized these guys, and it's put it in a different perspective for me. So I'm excited to talk sports. I'm excited that it's back. But also wear your mask. You know, Black Lives Matter. Let's do this. Like, you know, we can talk about all these things and still, you know, respect each other and talk about sports and still love each other and treat each other with kindness. So I'm excited. Right. I'm ready to bring it. I'm ready to kick Jonathan's ass and let these asses roll.
Hey, no, I will say, Derek, my brother, you know, all of us love this OTS thing. We love what you're doing, and we appreciate everything you have done. This is the OG podcast. We will miss you. Happy as hell to have Parker. He's energetic. He's going to lose, but at least he's energetic while he does it. But for real, man, I appreciate you, Parker, coming on as my co-host, and Dwayne, of course, getting us and moderating and getting us through everything. And Derek, I know you're going to pop in sometimes. You know what, Derek, I will say, Derek records a lot of these podcasts, right? Yeah. So the minute I just talk some shit about the Celtics, you're going to see his picture pop up. He's going to say, I'm here. He's going to, I own the company. Stop this shit right now. But, you know, we always appreciate you, Derek and Parker. I'm ready to get this thing going. We're going to focus on the right things, focus on the right people. I love the people we have, and let's keep it rocking.
Yeah,
Derek,
most definitely,
yes, sir.
Most definitely.
Any final remarks, Mr. Derek, that you would like to give to the people?
Give your final farewell, my brother.
Well, it's not farewell. I'm still gonna be here. I'm just gonna be behind the scenes, you know.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I'll pop in every once in a while. But I'm just glad to have you guys on. I know this show is gonna do significantly well. So I'm happy. I think the chemistry is gonna be great. So
dude, we were supposed to talk about like 5 different things tonight, and we got about one thing for an hour. Like
yeah. So you know, I'm happy. And by the way, in case I don't get to say this before the NBA season wraps up, which I'm pretty sure I will be able to, Celtics versus the Clippers in the finals.
They're gonna say the Rockets. Fuck you.
Well, see, I want to see it. Listen, between the Rockets or Clippers, we had the best games this season. I like the entire season. I don't care what other games you're talking about. Those are the best matchups that I've watched. So whether it's the Clippers or the Rockets, I'm down. I just have to rock with my preseason choice, which was the Celtics and the Clippers, and the Celtics win it in 7.
I like it.
So I'm sticking with that. But I could see the Rockets getting there. I'm having more faith in that small ball lineup. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but that small ball.
Both.
That small ball.
I remember
bro.
Derek texted me about 6 months ago and was like, "Bro, this shit whack."
Mm-hmm. Yo, everybody was
It
talking
made no sense.
on the OTS group.
Look at it now.
It made no sense.
Look at
So,
it now.
you
I
know,
don't know. Look,
Time will tell. We ain't got long to wait.
Yeah,
Brad Stevens is a master tactician.
He is, and
he's a master tactician.
Yeah, the same way that Parker just ran away. If we meet up with him in the finals,
that's why.
All right.
Let's go.
Hey, you know what?
So tried to clown.
It's gonna be a hell of a season, man.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a hell of a season.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. So
can't wait.
Milwaukee.
Sports,
I still don't trust Milwaukee in the playoffs. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't either. And a hell of a season. Hell of a season for the Rockets because we're about to come out with this dub. Hell of a season for OTS on all aspects.
Oh yeah. We
about to get it, boys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Coming for everyone.
Right. Coming for everyone. And that being said, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, again, we are saying it loud, proud, and bold. The NBA is back, and we never went anywhere. So this is just hey, if you're sleeping, wake the heck up, man, because we here. We were talking about sports even when it was away. As much of a struggle as it might have been, we still found a way to entertain everybody's eyes and ears, and we're going to continually do it now that all of our sports are coming back. And that being said, again, we want to emphasize, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, take all the precautions to stay at home as much as possible. If you need to go out, again, wear your mask. In the meantime, we are thankful, we are happy to have you guys listening, watching, wherever you're at. We thank you also for, enjoying sports and loving sports and talking sports the way we do. So again, make sure you subscribe to all things OTS at otsguys.com, and make sure you subscribe to the Sideline Guys. So again, if you're on Apple, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Tuned In, make sure you hit the little heart, shoot the 5 stars, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff where you can hear this and many, many more great content shows. Fellas, go around the room really, really quickly. Let them know where they can find and follow your individual personalities.
You can find me over on Twitter at JONNY_TEE. Of course, through all the typical Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and sixfamiliesradio.com, baby.
Yes, sir. Brother Parker, how about yourself, man?
Twitter and Instagram at Parker Gailey. Hit me up. Perennial Powerhouse Podcast. I pop on every show I can, but most importantly, OTS. Follow OTS on every Twitter, on the sidelines, Twitter, Facebook. We're on everything. So check us out.
Yes, sir.
And of course, our man behind the plan in your somewhat final episode of the Sideline Guys, man, go ahead and tell the people where they can find the hardest working man in America.
Oh man, you can find me at Derek_OTS, or follow the OTS pages at OTS Guys. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. We're on the Sidelines. You can find us on there. We have all the shows. Most of the shows most of the podcasts in video form on there, as well as other shows that you can only find on YouTube. So definitely check that out.
All right. And of course, it is your favorite presidential mediator right here. You already know where you can find your boy. Go ahead and look on Instagram at Dwayne Dickey Jr. You can also find your boy on Twitter and Instagram at Highlight Life, HILITE Life. And that being said, this is the Sideline Guys, and you're now on the sidelines with us. So until the next time, peace.